In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a variety of recipes from the autoimmune protocol diet and the histamine protocol diet. I hope you enjoy. Hi friends, I have a renewed sense of hope today. I know I was so bummed out in my last grocery haul video. I was super bummed. And I was sharing with you guys how defeated I felt and just how defeated I felt about having to prepare so many different meals for my family. And this stack of papers has saved my life. I know that some of you said, oh, there's recipes on Pinterest and all that kind of stuff. You guys, if you only knew the struggle that I am in with life right now and my husband's health and my kids' health and my health. Sometimes I just don't have the wherewithal to get on Pinterest and save recipes and write them down or print them off. I need ink for my printer. So to have the dietitian give me a stack of safe recipes for me and my children was such a blessing, such a huge blessing. So I have been in the kitchen meal prepping all day long, bulk batch cooking all kinds of goodies for me and the girls, and also now Bodie. We have Bodie. He has eczema all over his belly and it's starting to get on his legs. So we have cut dairy and wheat gluten for Bodie. And we're going to figure out what's causing his eczema. We think it's either dairy or wheat because we notice when he eats, I think it's wheat because when I gave him a sandwich, his eczema would turn bright red and flare up. So, or toast or anything like that. So we've now eliminated dairy and wheat for him, and or cow dairy. But I just wanted to say thank you for all of your support. You all have been so amazing. I know that I share openly on my channel and some people appreciate that and some people don't, and that's okay. I'm here sharing openly because I hope, my middle name's Hope, by the way, my hope is that someone else that is on this path that's struggling like me and my family are right now, my hope is to inspire and lift up and give hope and joy to those who are in the same boat as me. If you're not in this boat and you don't understand what it is to have food hurt you and hurt your body, you might not understand, and that's okay. I still want you here. I still want you to listen. Maybe this will help somebody that you know, or maybe you'll have a little bit more compassion for people with all these food allergies and intolerances. And I never understood celiacs, and then I got diagnosed with celiacs, and it explained my horrendous stomach pain that started about a year and 3 months ago. My mother-in-law passed away, and I don't know if just like the stress of that and my husband's health and everything else at that time of year, the traveling across the country, the funeral, I'm trying not to get emotional, but the stress of all of that, that was the first time I had an episode with the severe stomach cramping. I was in the hotel room and we were coming back from that trip, and I was doubled over in pain for about an hour, having the most severe stomach pain that I've ever had besides labor. And I didn't understand, and I was like, oh, I hope it's not gluten. I hope it's not gluten. And it was hit or miss. It was like processed breads from the store would affect me, but my homemade bread didn't affect me. Well, now everything affects me. So yeah, it's a lot. And I don't expect people who don't experience pain from food to understand, but I hope that you understand a little bit, and that if nothing else, that you get inspired with these new recipes. Oh my gosh, they're so delicious. I cannot wait to share with you the ginger carrot soup. So good. I also made Hagen. I finally made Hagen some turkey sausages. One of you recommended that I should home make her turkey sausages, and that was a great recommendation. Time consuming. So to feed everybody in the family the variety of things that we can eat, it was overwhelming. And for me, even thinking of making my daughter a whole bunch of sausages was overwhelming. So I was buying them from the store, but it did take me a few hours today to make the turkey sausages. I had to get them all cooked up in the pan, but it was well worth it. Now I have a whole Ziploc gallon freezer size bag full of turkey sausages for her. for her to have easy protein rich breakfasts. We do believe that animal protein is super important for our family. So it's important to me that I offer her a good protein every morning before she gets her day going. So that was really helpful. She can't have eggs, duck eggs, chicken eggs, nothing like that. So no mammal products at all. So it's been a challenge, and it's been a challenge for me and for Aaron and everything. I have breakfast, lunch, and dinner, 2 different kinds of breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I have a bunch of delicious recipes for you today, so let's jump right into this video. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're new to the channel, my name is Katie, and I would love for you to click the subscribe button and be a part of this Rouse Rising family. We have the most amazing subscribers on my channel. I have the most amazing members. If you're interested in supporting my channel, you can sign up to be a member, and there's a small monthly fee that just helps keep this channel going. I share all of this stuff with you all because the reason why I started this channel was if I happen to be gone one day, my children can go, oh, this is how mom made this. Oh, this is how mom did that. So that's why I started this channel, and then it turned into my husband's career is ending, and I need to make a type of income, some kind of income to support my family and to support my husband. It's my turn to take on the reins, but I also have to be a caregiver to him and to my children. So the best thing I can do is share our life on YouTube in hopes that it is able to support my family. So that's why I do this. But I just want to say thank you to everybody who's here. Thank you all. Just watching and liking my videos and subscribing is more than enough. And I cannot believe that we're at nearly 29,000 subscribers. I cannot believe it. I grew from 10,000 to 29,000 in the last year. I've been working my tail off, and I just want to thank each and every one of you all. I appreciate you so much. Let's jump into this meal prep video. All right, here's the recipe. If you want to screenshot this so you can make it yourself, this is for pressure cooker carrot ginger soup. I don't have any fresh ginger. That's okay though. Actually, I might have fresh ginger. Fresh freeze dried. I've got this ginger. And I'm going to go check and see if I have the other ginger. But we're going to be doing ginger, coconut milk, some carrots, some onions, more onions because I'm going to double this recipe. Got some garlic in here to use up. So I'm going to use some extra garlic. So those are our ingredients. And we are going to make some pressure. Oh, I forgot the broth. Some broth. And we are going to make some pressure cooker carrot ginger soup. Hey, I'm gonna make some carrot ginger soup, and that'll probably, the ginger will help your belly, baby. It's good stuff for dad bellies. We are starting out with some coconut oil in our Instant Pot, and then I scoured the freezer to see what ingredients we had that I could use up there, and I found this little bag of onions, and then also I bought some fresh onions from the grocery store. So I'm going to go ahead and dice these up and get these sauteing in the pot. Then we're adding our chopped or minced garlic to the pot. You can go the easy route and use your canned garlic that's already minced, or you can use fresh minced garlic. And then I'm gonna do a little cheater here. I am using some powdered ginger. This is organic ginger that I ordered in bulk a while back. So I'm adding that to my Instant Pot. We're just gonna get our aromatics going and cooking here, sauteing with the onions and garlic. while we chop up our carrots. These are freshly washed carrots, and I'm just dicing them into small pieces so that they can cook down much easier. All the carrots are going into the pot, and then we're gonna add the remainder of our ingredients. This recipe doesn't call for onion powder, but I decided to add a little bit more just to zhuzh it up. And then we're gonna add 2 teaspoons of thyme, keeping in mind that I have doubled this recipe to fill my family's bellies and to have a little bit left over to either freeze or freeze dry for long-term storage to eat another day. I've added in the chicken broth that I made the other day. Okay, we are gonna cook this for 5 minutes on high pressure. You make sure that your valve is sealed. Turn this off. I'm gonna do manual high pressure, and I'm gonna take it down to 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I'm going to turn it off, unplug it, let it manually release, and then we're gonna blend it up with immersion blender. Okay, so all the pressure is released. We've got 2 cans of coconut milk. I've doubled this recipe, but the original recipe calls for like 1.5 or 1 3/4 cups of coconut milk. But I am using this can of coconut cream, which is all separated. And I'm using a can of coconut milk, which actually has way more cream than the coconut cream did. While this recipe didn't call for any salt, I am adding some Redmond's real salt to this. I tasted it and it definitely needed some salt. Yep. How do you guys like the soup?
It's amazing. It's good one. Yeah, it's amazing.
It's going down delicious. This carrot ginger soup is absolutely delicious. I will say that I did not use vegetable broth. The recipe calls for vegetable broth, but I used some chicken stock. So do with that what you will. You can use vegetable. I'm sure that the chicken broth that I do with the carcass, it probably has higher histamines because of the bones, but it is so tasty and all the kids really enjoyed it. So this is a win and something I will keep in our recipe rotation for sure, especially in the wintertime when the winter is so dreary, but this is delicious.
So, we're gonna get a nail.
You're gonna taste it? Yeah, you can mix it.
So you put. So
It's not hot.
This board with all these holes.
It's a cup.
It's this board with all these holes. Then you stick nails in them.
Yes, it's hot.
It's hot?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
But we'll say yes, not yep. Yep is a word, but Mom and Dad don't think it is. Dad, yesterday you said it's not a word.
All right, this is the next recipe we're gonna make, and keep in mind I'm doubling all these recipes because I have a large family and some of my kids are gonna wanna eat these even though they're not intended for them, but this is what it is. I'm also gonna be adding maple syrup and cinnamon, so these notes right here tell you some more ideas for how to make these, but right now I've got my water boiling and I'm gonna do 2 cups of steel cut oats and let them soak. All right, these are the ingredients. We're gonna use coconut milk, but you can use whatever milk that you want. We're going to flavor it with organic maple syrup and some cinnamon, chia seeds, coconut, and the steel cut oats. Yep, sir. I decided to go ahead and, yes, I'm doubling the recipe, and then I'm splitting it in half because I'm going to use half of it to make a cocoa chocolate flavored pudding, and then the other half is just going to be flavored with the maple syrup and the cinnamon. But the cocoa pudding is going to have maple syrup and cinnamon in it as well. So that's why I'm splitting them up. I thought we would try it both ways, give my kiddos some options, and both were very tasty. We have been eating on them the last couple of days, and we really enjoy overnight oats. I haven't actually ever made overnight oats before, shocker, but it's something that I'm going to make for the kids going forward, especially for weeks when we are really busy with school and soccer and all the summer activities we have coming up. It'll be nice to have this in the fridge in the little mason jars where they can just go and grab it out and have themselves a snack or a quick breakfast. It is a wonderful way to have some easy, fast food on hand for the kids. In the past, I have made lots of dairy-free chia seed pudding and chocolate chia seed pudding. I'm sure I have recipes and videos for those on my channel from years and years ago. In more recent days, I have eliminated nuts and seeds from my diet personally, but my kids don't have the inflammation and the pain that Aaron and I suffer from, so they can still have oats and chia seeds and they can enjoy them. So I will be making chia seed pudding and these overnight oats for them in the future in these little mason jars. What a convenient way to nourish our children. the next recipe that we are going to make, chicken apple sausage patties. This is going to be breakfast or dinner, and we are going to freeze them up for Hagen so she can have these anytime she wants. I am quadrupling the recipe. I'm multiplying the recipe by 8. I'm doing something. So we're going to do 2 pounds of ground turkey. So we're substituting the lean ground chicken for lean ground turkey. And then I am going to do 2 full pounds. So it's going to be a lot, but we're just going to go ahead and do them all and freeze them for her. So here are the directions. You can screenshot this, and here's the nutrition. I am grating up 2 organic apples for this recipe, and I'm going to grate them all the way down to the core. Keep in mind that by adding the apples, you are adding an amount of sugar to this recipe that is naturally occurring in the apples. So when you fry these in the pan, they are going to create kind of a sticky mess in the pan. So every batch that I fried in the pan, I cleaned out and re-seasoned my pan each time. That way I didn't have burnt matter in my pan that I was adding to these patties, and that way they weren't sticking so bad. So you're gonna see when I fry these up that I definitely clean my pan in between frying batches of the patties. I also experimented and threw these into the oven. I think about 5 of them I cooked in the oven just to see how that would do, and that didn't brown them at all. It just cooked them through and they were white, and that decreased some of the flavor, some of the umami that you get from frying them in the pan and getting a little bit of brownness on them. Now, you don't want to blacken your food or to, overcook these in the pan or cook them on top of the burnt sugars that are in the pan, because that releases and creates a chemical reaction that can be toxic to our bodies. So you just want to gently fry these in a pan just to brown, and that will give them plenty of flavor without adding the additional burnt sugars in the pan. So these need to go into the freezer for about 10 minutes before you saute them or fry them in the pan, because they are such a loose meat product that they are very, I don't know how to describe it, but they're very goopy. I'm not sure. Somebody tell me what word I'm looking for. It's not that they fall apart, but they're just very mushy, might be the word I'm looking for. They're very, very mushy, and by pre-freezing them for 10 to 15 minutes, that firms them up a little bit and makes them a little bit easier to handle. So between these batches, I am cleaning out my cast iron pan, and I am pan frying these over medium heat for about 3 to 5 minutes on each side, making sure that they are cooked all the way through. As always, for Hagen's food, I always pan fry her food in coconut oil. That is something that she can definitely tolerate. You can see on that back burner, I have started a pot of water, and that is so that I can go ahead and meal prep some beluga lentils. You guys hear me talk about these all the time, but they are black lentils, and they're awesome. They taste just like baby black beans, and that's what we call them. So there you see, I am finishing up my jar of beluga lentils, and also I just ordered some in my most recent Azure order, so I'll be sharing that with you very soon. Here you can see the sugars from the apples have caramelized in the bottom of the pan. So what I do is I take my hot pan over to the sink, and I make sure I use hot water, and I run some hot water in it, and I scrub out my pan, but I don't use any soap or anything. I just scrub out all the sticky caramelization, and then I throw more coconut oil back into the pan, and then I'm able to fry my next batch up perfectly. So yes, it is a little bit more work, but it is definitely work that is worth it. I am so happy to make these for my daughter and have some homemade sausages for her. You guys saw in some of my previous videos, I have been buying chicken and turkey sausages from the store, and this is empowering to be able to make these for her here at home. All right, now we're gonna get some rice going, and you all know I always cook my rice in some form of meat broth or bone broth, and today we are using a chicken meat broth. And then another thing I am gonna go ahead and meal prep up for dinner tonight is a bunch of cubed sweet potatoes. I like to fry these in coconut oil on the stovetop, and I just fill up my pan and make as many as I can fit in my pan to cook them evenly. And that's about 3 sweet potatoes worth of potatoes. So I slice these lengthwise and then I cube them up into tiny little cubes, and that helps them cook perfectly. My family loves sweet potatoes cooked this way. They prefer them cooked this way. When I bake them or steam them in the Instant Pot, they do not like that because they're too mushy and they don't like the texture. They're just not a fan of the stringiness of the sweet potatoes, but cubing them up keeps them a little bit more firm. And I salt them with Redmond's real salt. If you're not using Redmond's real salt and you want to give it a try, I always have a link down below in my video's description with 10% off and free shipping on orders over $30. They have 10-pound bags. Well, they have a variety of sizes, but I always recommend going ahead and getting the 10-pound bag of Redmond's real salt. And right now they have an amazing deal where you can get a 10-pound bag and you can get a 2-gallon bucket to store your 10-pound bag in. So check that out, linked below in the video's description. This is dinner tonight, and we're gonna serve this up for all the kids. They're having sweet potatoes, black lentils, and the rice that we steamed in the Instant Pot. I love making rice in the Instant Pot. It's one of those set it and forget it kind of deals where you can walk away from it and your rice isn't going to boil over on the stove. So highly, highly, highly recommend the Instant Pot as a rice cooker. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you got some delicious inspiration. I hope that you try some of these recipes. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.